to Table Talk with Toddy, a podcast for millennials designed to motivate, inspire, and educate you on what it really takes to live a real life on purpose. This isn't your typical podcast. You can count on me to keep it real, funky, and relatable here on Table Talk with Toddy.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Table Talk with Toddy. Today's episode is definitely not planned. It's just I had a few quiet moments rather. I hardly ever have free time. And I decided to just come on and have a little conversation with all of my amazing millennial friends. Typically when I get something that's on my mind, I like to just get it out, and the best way for me is to talk, which is obviously my strong suit, which is why I do a lot of videos. I have this podcast. I just love to share my thoughts, my wisdom, and my knowledge with my peers, and that being you. So this morning I was sitting around thinking about a lot of the events that have been transpiring, not just in my life, but in the world in general. I get calls, emails, texts, messages on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat all day long of people telling me, some of the things that they're experiencing, some of the unfortunate things that they're experiencing. And all I can do is sit back and think of who's not going through something, It's like a part of, it is a part of life. Let me rephrase that. It is a part of life to go through things. Now, of course, there are some who have had a little more ease in their lives, and they haven't experienced much of the things that I've experienced personally, or a lot of the people in my circle, that being financial problems, lack of support, just, trying to survive, in other words. There's so many of us out here trying to survive, and in that, we give up on our dreams. We think that, maybe God didn't create me to live that life that I imagine, or maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. Maybe this job is all that my life is cracked up to be about. Maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to settle. I just need to live this normal life, go to work every day, do what my boss says, and pay my bills and try to put my child through college. And that's it for me. And it almost breaks my heart that there are so many of my peers, I'm talking about millennials specifically, who are settling and who are feeling defeated and feeling as though the cards that they've been dealt are the only cards that'll ever be given to them, handed to them. And as I sit here and think about a lot of the things that I've gone through in my life, I'm only 28 years old, but I have gone through a lot of things, and I share my story all the time. Every chance I get, I share it. But there's still a lot of things in my life that's not ironed out, that I'm trying to figure out, that I'm struggling with. And what I'm learning is that, yes, it's powerful to get through life's circumstances and to make it over the rough bridge, or to get through the hardships. But what's even more powerful is when you can push through the pain that you're experiencing, when you can still be productive when outside is raining and hailing and trees are flying everywhere and nothing seems to be settled. When you can push through those types of storms and not slow down because of them, or not allow them to keep you indoors, or not allow them to keep you in your comfort zone, that's where the true power comes from. And out of all of the things that I've done over the years, I'll have to say that I am now in my most powerful position. And I think I said this maybe in another episode before, but I'm in my most powerful position because when you hit rock bottom, there really is nowhere else to go. And a few months ago, I hit rock bottom, and I am still trying to climb out of where I was, where my family was, and really rebuild. So now the drive that you see me have, the passion, it comes from that pain, me pushing through and still working and still grinding, even though everything around me seemed to be chaotic. That's where the true power comes from. And I think that there's still a lot of disconnect. A lot of people out here saying, well, I'll pursue my dreams when I get this thing straight, or when my bank account gets to this, oh, I'm going to go to this place or do this thing or that. And that is not the way to necessarily do it. I have never had so much drive, so much passion. I thought I did before, but it wasn't until life slapped me around a little bit, a lot, not a little bit, a lot, for me to really find the passion and the compassion for my audience, for you guys, and to speak from the heart and to share life-changing stories, wisdom, knowledge with you that hopefully will help you to get to, your next level in life. And so I wanted to get on here and talk about that. It's just so much of us out here settling. I hear people say when I talk to them, I want to do this, but that. But cancels out everything you just said before the but. I hear people say, well, I'm so tired of going to work every day. I'm broke. Like, I can't even afford to do this or that. Yet they have a gift, an obvious gift right on the inside of them that they're just sitting on and waiting for the perfect opportunity. Well, there is no perfect time. There will never be the perfect opportunity for you to step out of your comfort zone and do things that you've never thought that you would do before. And to be honest with y'all, things are never going to be easy. As a matter of fact, the more you grow, the higher you elevate, the more things you have to fight, the more things that you battle with. But I've made a commitment here lately that it's all or nothing for me. If I have to push through the tears, if I have to convince myself that what I'm sharing with you guys is really real, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've committed my life to doing. And it's just so important that we find that place, to know that, yes, I might be crying at night because I don't know how my bills are going to be paid. I don't know how this thing is going to pan out for me. If you can just push through that and still be productive, still get up every day and go as hard as you've ever been before. And when you get to the point to where you allow your vision, see, you've got to be able to see what you want before you actually get it. And as millennials, we're really drawn by the flashy life, the glamorous life. We base someone's entire life story off of their Instagram feed. We watch their snaps and think they've got it all together. And that's just how we operate. We're a very visual community, a very, very visual generation. And so if we don't see something physically in front of us, it's hard for us to believe it. Some of us, that is. So you've got to practice seeing. Before you can get anything, you've got to know how it looks, how it feels, how it smells, how it acts, how it operates. You've got to know. And so in this time that you may be sitting back wondering, God, when and God, why, spend that time getting to know what you want, getting familiar, becoming fluent in what you want your life to be. And that's an everyday thing, and that's something that you have to build upon. I was watching a video earlier on Facebook, and I totally forgot this young girl. She's actually millennial like us, her last name, but her name's Ashley. Last name starts with a Z. When I post this podcast, I'll tag her in it. But she said something in the video that made so much sense. She was talking about a historic artist, and he did a painting for somebody, and it took him like 30 minutes to do. And then when he was done with the painting, he turned around and told the guy, okay, that'll be $30,000. And the guy was like, $30,000? It only took you 30 minutes to do that painting. Why would I pay you $30,000? But the point of the story is he became an expert at that craft. He spent all of his hard-earned time, years, investing 30 some odd years in learning to do a painting of that matter in 30 minutes. And so the point of me sharing this with you is because don't allow so much time to pass you by just waiting on life to get perfect or waiting on your bank account to look good. A lot of the things I've done and still do, sometimes, guess what, y'all? My bank account is negative, sweet tea, negative. Sometimes I don't know when my next big check is coming. Sometimes I don't know how I'm going to go from point A to point B. And a lot of times, in most instances, I create my best ideas. I get my best ideas. I do some of my biggest launches when I am in that state where I don't know how something's going to happen. I allow my passion and my hunger for living my dreams and for living the life and seeing my vision come to life. I allow that stuff to push me, to fuel me, to energize me into creating some of the dopest stuff that I think has ever been created. That's where the drive comes from. But the point is, you've got to use this time that isn't so comfortable to get familiar with your dream, to get familiar with whatever it is that you desire. Because when the time starts to smooth out, when things start to look a little better, when God starts to allow the sunshine to hit you, you'll be prepared. A lot of us aren't getting prepared. We just want something to magically drop out of the sky. We want our dreams to come. We want somebody to come sailing along to scoop us up and give us the golden key. And that is not how it's going to work. You have got to be one of the few out here grinding, hustling, getting it, even when life is throwing crap at you. So I don't know where all of this came from, but I felt like I needed to hop on here and just share that with you because it's time out. We're going into a new year, and a lot of us are now. It's almost November. Tomorrow is November 1st, and a lot of us have not accomplished anything because we're allowing time to go by waiting on the perfect time or the perfect opportunity. And I'm here to break it to you. I'll be that harsh friend to tell you you're going to be waiting all of your life if you don't use this time to get familiar, to get prepared, and to use what you're going through as energy. Bottom line, no more saying you're broke, but you're not trying to figure out other ways to bring in income. No more saying you don't have the time, but you're out in a nightclub every weekend. No more saying you don't have the money to buy a book or to invest in some type of course or coach even. If you're out here taking vacations and you don't know how you're going to pay your bills when you get back home. It's time out for it. It's time to change it. And the first step, obviously, we've heard this before on the Alcoholic Anonymous commercials. The first step is to admit. And we all have to do that, me included. It's a daily thing. So take this for what you will. Whoever this was for, I'm thankful that you received it. But anyway, it's 11:30 and I've got a full day ahead of me. So I'm going to get off of this podcast and get back to work. Of course, guys, connect with me on social, @OfficialToddy on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my fave, Snapchat. And go to themotivationmaven.com, check it out, and see what's on there. Got a lot of good things in store for you. If you just stay connected with me, get on the list at themotivationmaven.com. As always, guys, it's Monday. Have a dope week. Make this week the best week of your life, because remember, it's up to you. I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. This episode is brought to you by themotivationmaven.com, your one-stop shop for all things motivation. To learn more about advertising on Table Talk with Toddy, email info@thetoddybrand.com.